Jinwoo is unsure if going through with this would be the best course of action, but after thinking for a while, he says, "Yes, I accept." Golden light suddenly starts exuding all around him, pushing him back as the light shines so bright nothing else can be perceived. Inside a shadowy realm, an army of millions of monsters can be seen marching through a canyon. In a spiritual form, Drippy Woo is in absolute astonishment seeing all of them jumbled up. Weirdly enough, every single one of the monsters can be seen looking up at the sky. Drip Woo glances behind him, asking what they were looking at, leading him to be in utter shock. Multiple enormous-sized gates could be seen covering the sky, seeming just as big as the single gate that had appeared in Japan. A purple sky and hordes of monsters. This place can't possibly be Earth, he thought to himself. If this army made up of ice elves, high orcs, goblins, giants, and countless other species were to invade Earth, even the entire human race wouldn't stand a chance against them. One of the gates in the sky starts to crack, shattering the entrance into pieces as angel-like figures cross through the gate. It didn't take long to figure out what would happen next. Hundreds of thousands of angels start gushing out of the shattered gates in the sky, shocking Rizzy Woo as he's witnessing the sight in front of him. One of the angels blows a war horn as an all-out war between the silver soldiers and the monsters break out. The sounds of clashing weapons and crushed armor filled the air. Pools of blood began to stain the battlefield as the war cries quickly turned into screams of agony. The silver soldiers were absolutely dominating in the minor scuffle, but just as they were about to take the victory royale, they suddenly came to a halt. A shadowy being steps into the fray, nonchalantly saying the word, "Arise." Drip Woo notices the skill he's using as the domain of the monarch envelops the entire battlefield, reviving every single monster that had fallen in battle using the skill shadow extraction. Drippy Woo is in complete awe, asking himself if he was the monarch of the shadows. Immortality, an army that never dies. The monsters sacrificed their lives, but death wasn't the end for them. Their blood grew dark and dense, granting them a newfound strength. As Rizzy Woo watches this unfold, he can't help but be astonished by the fact he can summon so many shadow soldiers. Even he can't compare to someone like that. The fallen monsters emerged from death's embrace and stormed towards the silver soldiers. Even though their bodies could be slashed to pieces, they would regenerate in the fraction of a second like nothing ever happened. The black and silver armies became entangled in a fierce battle. Explosions erupted and the ground shook beneath them. Even though the silver soldiers would have won the battle by a landslide, the appearance of a single individual had turned the tides completely. The Shadow Monarch pulls out an enormous blade, and as his horse roars, he manages to destroy multiple soldiers in a single slash. Then, as the horse kept dashing forward, he activates the skill Dominator's Authority, crushing the soldiers with ease. This left Drip Woo in absolutely shock before the might the previous Shadow Monarch displayed. The Shadow Soldiers had repeated the cycle of death and revival to wipe out their enemies. Wherever the Monarch went, a trail of destruction was left in his wake. The Shadow Army getting the victory royale seemed imminent. That is until they showed up. As Drippy Woo is busy watching the memories of the previous Shadow Monarch, a group of hunters arrives at the entrance of the double dungeon. As the guild leader of the Hunters Guild says how there's tremendous amounts of mana coming from the gate. Hunter Choi asks if Rizzy Woo was inside. Jin Chul responds saying he's positive. Mommy Cha is confused since the mana leaking from the gate isn't Drippy Woo's, asking herself who could it belong to. Jin Chul starts flashing back when Rizzy Woo said he wasn't the one who cleared the double dungeon, confused as to why he came back here. It can't possibly be a coincidence, he said as they opened the gate, getting absolutely shocked after finding the room completely destroyed. Jin Chul couldn't believe his eyes. The statue of God and the stone sculptures actually existed after all. The architect senses the presence of the humans, saying that he didn't recall inviting them here. "This is another unexpected surprise," he said, staring down at the hunters with a menacing look. The hunters are freaked out, asking themselves if they were just hearing things since a monster just spoke their language. With a smile, he tells them to shut the fuck up, telling them how dare they disturb the king's nappy time. The hunters are confused as to who he referred to as king, and look towards the direction where Drippy Woo is just standing there in front of a large crater without moving a single inch. One of the hunters asks what he was doing over there, but suddenly gets slashed after the architect cut down 3 nameless hunters in a single slash. Mommy Cha is in complete shock since she couldn't even react to his attack. The architect laughs, saying that these strong humans would make a great offering to the king, referring to Rizzy Woo, who was still watching the memories of the previous Shadow Monarch without knowing what was happening outside. Both the Shadow Monarch and Rizzy Woo seem to be looking at a certain direction. 2 giant red and blue gates that look like Gojo's hollow purple can be seen. Out of the blue gate, an army made up of demons came marching out with the flags from clans such as Ricardo, Peitos, even the Radiru clan, which this girl came from. Out of the red gate, an enormous-sized wolf came walking out, towering over an army made up of beast monsters. The Demon King Baran, the Monarch of Flames, and the King of Beasts, Monarch of Fangs, both face off against the Monarch of Shadows. Next time, in the next episode of Solo Rizzy Leveling, back to reality, the healers try their hardest to heal the hunter, who was struck down by the architect as Choi Jong-in orders them to take the wounded to the back, yelling, "Here they come," as the stone statues get ready to attack. The architect tells them that anyone who is still alive by the time his puppets collapse, they would be given the great honor of witnessing the king's birth, if any of them manage to survive, that is. God's statue starts activating his laser beam ability, leading to Hunter Choi telling everyone to watch out. He shoots out an enormous blast, completely destroying everything in front of him, but Hunter Choi manages to dodge the attack, activating one of his spells, which hit the statue right in the face with exquisite speed. Hunter Choi shouts to his subordinates to use this chance to destroy the statues, while the big statue is distracted by his attack. Jinwoo launches himself forward as fast as he could, hitting one of the statues right in the mother face, but gets shocked, since the statue didn't move a single inch after taking his maximum-powered punch. The statue's face suddenly gets blasted as the S-ranker Choi shouts, saying that the statues had a high resistance to physical attacks. But since the spell he just used had absolutely no effect, it meant that the statues also had magical resistance. The hunters are extremely overwhelmed, saying that none of their skills, such as taunting or psychokinesis, work against the statues. The guildmaster tries to think of a plan quickly, or they will all die in here. He suddenly looks towards the direction where Rizzy Woo is standing, thinking that they need to wake him up since he's the last option they have left. He launches a spell towards him, attempting to wake him up. But as the spell is about to make impact with Rizzy Woo, the architect steps in, blocking the attack, completely shocking Guildmaster Choi. The architect launches himself towards Choi, yelling, saying how dare he try to disturb the king in his slumber. Multiple hunters rush out from behind him, blocking the architect's rampage. Jinwoo quickly shouts towards Mommy Cha, telling her that they would take care of everything here and that she should go wake up Rizzy Woo. She dashes towards him. As she's about to reach him, the panel cuts over inside Drip Woo's mind, where a battle between the demon clans and beasts versus the Shadow Army ensues. The Shadow Soldiers revive infinitely, no matter how many times they're destroyed, leaving Drip Woo astonished, since if it was him, his mana would have run out long ago, almost like he has a bottomless pit of mana. Both the demon clans and the beast monster army were slaughtering the Shadow Soldiers in a 2v1. Jinwoo asks himself if either the Shadow Monarch wasn't on the same side of the monsters, or there was internal conflict among them. As the battle comes to an end, the Shadow Monarch walks towards the defeated leader of the demon army and says how they had the chance to end the war today, asking why he betrayed him. The defeated commander responds, saying that it was a shame since he didn't manage to kill him in the end. With a serious face, the Shadow Monarch asks again, "Why did you betray me?" The Guildmaster states how they must wake up Hunter Sung Drip Woo, since there was no other option to make it out alive. Mommy Cha suddenly dashes towards the unconscious Jinwoo, only for the architect to launch an attack against her, but she manages to dodge it in the last second. The architect commends her for dodging his attack, saying it was impressive, but suddenly notices that there was a lingering shadow soldier hanging around in Mommy Cha's body. The architect says how it can't come out because of the rules of the dungeon, but its existence isn't doubted. He is surprised the king planted a shadow soldier on her, asking what her relationship with Sung Jinwoo is. Mommy Cha responds saying that she's a friend of Jinwoo and that she came to save him. The architect laughs, saying that it wasn't something the king did, and offers her an opportunity. Today is the day where one of the greatest monarchs would descend upon this world. The architect gives her the chance to witness this glorious event, but every single one of her little friends will die right here in this dungeon. A sudden voice could be heard in the distance saying, "Not today, buddy," as Jinwoo punches the architect square in the jaw, dislocating it completely. As the architect's body crumbles, Jinwoo asks, "You, what have you done to my body?" since he now possessed an extra heart instead of one. Jin Chul, Guildmaster Choi, Mommy Cha all feel relieved since the one and only Jinwoo finally descended to the battle. As the architect's body slams into the ground, he says, You are not the king," asking how is it even possible that he's here instead of him, and how he was able to regain his consciousness with the black heart inside his body. Jinwoo finally realizes that the reason why he gained such an absurd amounts of mana just now was due to the black heart, which had raised his mana from a mere 9,000 to a whopping 100,000. Judging by his reaction, he can tell that the black heart wasn't the architect's doing, and that it wasn't meant to be used to his benefit. The recalled data also didn't answer all of the questions he had. He tells him how he said he was against him becoming a player, but what exactly is a player? He hopes that he would enlighten him about what a player actually is, and what he planned on doing to him. The architect refuses to believe the situation until he realizes something which made him start crashing out, screaming, "How dare you, Shadow Monarch? You think the other monarchs will just let this happen?" Jinwoo pulls out multiple daggers, pointing them straight at the architect's face, telling him to answer his questions. The architect starts laughing, saying he sure is an unpredictable one, and said that he has an idea as to why he was the one chosen by the system. The fodder hunters are in utter disbelief, as the statues that hadn't moved thus far started waking up. The architect states how if he were to be killed now, no one would be able to stop his puppets. Jinwoo asks what would happen if he killed him, and then his puppets. He responds saying that if he killed him, the architect of the system, I could return to being an E-rank hunter again, Jinwoo said, cutting him off. He said that he thought about it, but the existing system won't fall apart. If the architect disappears now, would it? The architect is in utter shock since Jinwoo called his bluff, saying that if that's the case, he would just forcefully, before he could finish his sentence, messages appeared blocking his access even though he was the administrator. As Jinwoo stands there exuding aura, he said he once thought about it, devouring the entire system whole. He says how his design isn't perfect after all as the architect starts shouting, "How dare you!" But before he could continue yapping, Jinwoo had cut him to pieces. The architect before his final breath said he had a prophecy for him. When the pillars of fire that hold the heavens are raised, there will be an inevitable death approaching your way. Sung Jinwoo looks back with a cold look and says, "As you please." Jinwoo looks back saying that he doesn't give a flying fuck. Outside the gate, weak hunters discuss about what was happening inside the gate since it had been an hour since the Hunters Guild went in, saying that if they themselves went in, they would have surely been screwed. Someone announces that the hunters were finally coming out of the gate, but were completely beaten and battered since it could be seen that they had multiple injuries. The fodder hunters were in utter shock, since the elites of the Hunters Guild came out looking like that after raiding a gate that was just supposed to be C rank. Jin Chul walks up to the hunters, asking if they could help carry the deceased, which shocked them even more since people actually died inside the gate. A few minutes later, Jinwoo came walking outside the gate nonchalantly, thinking that since the architect was gone now, it's a shame that he didn't get an answer to all his questions. Jinchul tells Drippy Woo that 20 of the top-rank elite hunters had died inside. If this had been a dungeon break, the extent of the damage would have been unimaginable, and is astonished that he tried to stop all of that alone. Drippy Woo looks down at the row of corpses, saying that he only survived because of the aid of the Hunters Guild and the monitoring division. Jinchul said he knew he had entered the dungeon, but since the mana leaking out of it was so potent, he requested help from the Hunters Guild, but it still resulted in such a tragedy. Jinchul asks him how he found that the double dungeon was in this particular gate, and he responded saying that it had summoned him here. Jinchul doesn't seem to understand, so Rizzy Woo tells him that he had received a message telling him to come here. Jinchul asks if they could see that message, but Drip Woo tells him it's a message that's only visible inside his head. Although Jinchul is still confused, he doesn't think he'd be joking at a time like this where there are casualties. Mommy Cha walks up to Rizzy Woo asking if he was all right. He responds saying he's fine, but maybe just a little tired, falling to the ground completely exhausted of his strength.